is now 6:02. I will call the meeting to order. Miss Jennifer Haggerty.
Here.
Miss Stacy Hover.
Here.
Mr. Marquis James. Absent. Mr. Peter Manella. Mr. James Preston.
Here.
Mr. John Averelli.
Here.
Okay. Alrighty. So, with that, I need a motion to nominate the president of the Board of Education. I need a nominee first. Peter?
Peter.
Okay, so Peter. A first and second?
I first that, please. Sorry.
No, go for
Jen.
it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion, or I need a nominee for vice president.
Stacy.
Okay. I need a first on that. Jim
Second.
and Peter. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I didn't think so. I just want to make sure I was spelling correctly.
I need a designation of a chairperson if the president and vice president are unable to be present.
Jen?
Okay, so Jen, I need a first.
Second.
Jim,
Oh, Peter's got that.
Peter, all in favor?
Aye.
I need 3 members to be part of the audit committee.
I'd like to name Jennifer Haggerty, Marquis James, and Jim Preston. That's called reverse patronage.
Anytime.
I need a first on that one.
Second.
A
I know
second.
how this goes.
Second it.
Jim, okay, all in favor?
I've been on that committee since I started. It's an easy committee.
I need a nominee for voting delegate for the NISBA Resolutions Committee. Peter, okay. First, Stacy, second, Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a nominee for the advocacy liaison with the New York State School Boards Association.
Also Peter.
Here, okay. First. Stacy, Jim. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I would like to have a nominee for the ex officio student board member from the high school principal.
John Alvarelli, the third.
From the high school principal.
Take a second, to say a
I'll
few
take a
words.
second, definitely. So, Joe came to me looking for a student nominee. To be honest with you, John, that you were the first person that popped into my head. I didn't really share that with the staff though, so then I went and I talked to guidance counselors, teachers, and John does the right thing. He's a great student, he's a great person, and just a great addition, I think, to the board. So happy to put his name forward, and I think he'll be a positive influence.
I'll vouch.
Okay. So we'll have first. Oh, sorry, I didn't give any time for you to speak if you would like to say anything to the
I
audience.
just want to say I'm honored to have been nominated for this position, and I want to thank everyone who, accepts me into this, considering I've never done this before,
We're all on the same learning
Yeah,
curve.
yeah,
We're all,
right.
we're
This
doing
is all
it
brand new to
together.
us too,
All
so
good.
welcome.
Okay, so at first, Stacy, Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, I need a motion to reappoint Shaylin Payton as the district clerk of the Board of Education for the Rensselaer City School District.
Tough grab, but we'll get it.
All right, Jen and Stacy, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I need a motion to reappoint Amy Mackey as the district treasurer to the Board of Education of the Rensselaer City School District. Jim? Second?
Second, sorry, I didn't know what. Joe
That's
was doing.
okay.
Waving Amy.
I was like, wait, is he not?
Make sure everybody looks up and knows Amy's here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. At this time, we will read our oaths of office, and then the president will take hold of the meeting.
Are we in unison?
Yes.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully now yours, President.
I'm sorry. Before we move into regular business, there's never a meeting that I don't have something to say at, so why break the tradition? That was a bell.
Time's up.
Yep.
I've heard that bell
Really
before.
quick.
I shared with Joe and Shaylin yesterday two emotions that I have, because I tend to run emotional. One is that this scares the hell out of me, because I'm cognizant of what we do here. And two, I'm hell-bent to do the absolute best I can for the kids of our school. That's what matters most to me. I've been on the board for a year. I've been sitting through meetings right up in there somewhere for about 6 years. And here's what I would share as the new chair of the board. My focuses will be on student attainment and performance. Again, that's why we're here as a board, to help shape policy and resources so that the staff and teachers can help our kids learn and grow up. Two, I want to engender a sense of teamwork and development with one another. Joe will tell you I read a lot and I share a lot of things that I read with him. I tend to share some of those things more with the board, which I haven't been able to do in the past, or haven't just done. I want to focus on professional development for all of us. Policy development, which we've talked about, and Shaylin, I know, spends a lot of time on that, and there's a lot to do there. And of course, I forgot accountability and professionalism from everyone. How we conduct these meetings, how we interact with one another, and the last would be school culture and environment. I think it's important that this be a safe and positive place for our kids, but also for our teachers and our aides and counselors and the entire staff. Joe uses the Franley, which I still can't phonetically pronounce properly. That means the Italian in me loves the family concept, and I think we need to make this feel like a family more and more every day when the kids come in from school. That's kind of like where I'm coming from. My focus will be on that, and these two had to listen to me for an hour and a half yesterday about things, but I'm very trusting of both of them. They should know that publicly, and of the board. We've worked well together. We've got a good group of people here. If we could get Marky to show up, that wasn't nice. But we do have a good group here. It feels good to come here once a month, and then in between when we have conversations, and know that we're all pulling in the same direction. That's an important thing. So, John, we want to welcome you. I heard some good things about you from Dom. We all did. And your parents are here. We promise not to ruin him. That's all I can tell you.
We promise to try not.
I have no idea why they have him sitting next to me.
Yeah, that was a
That's
mistake.
weird.
John,
Maybe he's babysitting me.
What career direction or study direction are you in? Are you like political science and social study kind of things, or math? Or
I'm looking more into computer sciences, computer engineering.
before the year's over,
That makes sense.
All right.
before the year's over, you'll be over in the political science and government affairs. Don't worry about it. I'll see you there. But no, we want to welcome you. We're all here to help you, explain things to you when you have questions, listen to your ideas. We've all been in school, and it sucked when nobody listened to us. So make us listen to you. We won't always agree with you, but make us listen to you. So, but thank you and welcome. All right.
Also, wait, thank you.
And yes,
Oh, no.
thank you. No.
Oh, yes.
We have to
Oh,
thank,
yes.
we have to thank our torch passing past president, most
I'm
recent
honored to
president.
do that.
You've meant a lot to all of us, and I won't make you cry because I will too. You're a friend to all of us. You're a friend to the people here, to the kids and the teachers. They all know you. We were talking about, I'll share with the girl, we were talking about something before. She said, how did you know about that? And I didn't. Because
I
everybody
know every
talks,
minute of it.
everybody talks to you because everybody cares about you and trusts you, and you have led us well, and we can't thank you enough. So, and we won't get any
Great
more.
pleasure that
We won't get any more maudlin than that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But thank you. All right, Madam District Clerk and Superintendent. We have an agenda that has many items on it that I learned most of these, all of these relate to continuing the operation of the school for the coming school year. I'd entertain a motion from a board member to, right, to set.
Sorry.
I got seven, yeah.
Setting you up for failure.
Setting me up for failure.
Yeah, you hold me accountable.
I entertain a motion to adopt, to approve items 7 through 10 at this time. James and Jen. James and Jen.
On
Before we discuss, before we do it, I want to call each of the board members' attention to the calendar that's in there of our meetings. I think Joe may have something to say about that later as well. But please make sure you calendar those so we can have everybody at the meeting. And with that, thank you. I would call for, if you're in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. And if I do something wrong there, you hit it, right? Okay. Routine matters. Okay, we move into our regular agenda. I take a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of the Board of Education from June 18th, 2025, which appeared in your materials. Jim and Stacy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Approved. Any communications, is that from, to the board?
Yeah, we don't have any.
I believe it's here.
If we get a letter or address to the board, we can
Okay,
get them.
so nothing there. Any items from members of the Board of Education?
Just a reminder, next Tuesday, we are going to, I'm
STEM
sorry,
high school.
STEM High School
Right.
for a tour.
I
Excited
apologize,
about
I
that.
won't be there.
Uh,
And that's a place for me to remind all of you, I think Joe put something out this morning about it, with the New York State School Board's Leadership Conference, August 1 and 2 at the Desmond, or whatever, it's Crown Plaza. If you're going, let Shaylin know as soon as possible so we get people registered.
Shaylin, I am in for the STEM trip on Tuesday. I am out for both the August 1st and 2nd, and I cannot get the time off in October, because it's during the week this time. I can't.
And that was the second one, if board members are interested, the October School Boards Conference in New York City, we need to know soon.
It's a great trip if you can
It
make
is.
it. God, what a great time we had, so much we learned.
Well, I promise to go and make sure Joe doesn't get in any trouble there. so.
Good luck with that.
Any additional items for the agenda? Assignment, that's been on the agenda,
Are
since
we-
I've been here, I don't know what it means.
Is why.
Are you sending the invitation to John to go over to the cell?
I'm sure it's just what, asking, wonder if anybody didn't ask it.
Usually it's not this
Or we
big.
can come tomorrow, yeah.
Nothing else on the agenda, no assignment. We move to reports.
There we go. This is a page, I think.
This one down? Yeah, we'll start with that one. So, I'll come up here so I can kind of point and tell you guys what's going on. So, what we're gonna give you here is our our June Regents report and stuff like that, and then we'll do a graduation report kind of from there, okay? So, if you look at the top charts, this is what we're gonna focus on right now. All the Regents tests that are given are listed over here. You'll notice that English says combined. We give our English Regents in January. Any students that don't get by it will take it again in June at the end of the year. So that's why that says that's combined. What we did is somebody who took it in January and didn't pass it, and then took it in June, we used the higher of the grades to kind of put it where they were there. So you have English. We have 2 social studies Regents, a global, which is a 10th grade Regents, and a U.S. history, which is at 11th. We have 3 math. Algebra 1 is 9th or 10th grade. After Algebra 1, you take geometry, and then you can go to Algebra 2. And we follow living environment first for our science in 9th grade, Earth Science 10th, and then chemistry in 11th. These were the number of students that had to take the exams. And then they're broken down into 85 to 100 is mastery. You can see we had a very nice tech in mastery for the English exam. 65 to 84 is right here. Then they break it down into 55 to 64, and I'll explain that in a second, and then 0 to 54. What you're going to notice as we go through the percentages, we have some very good scores, and we got some places where we need to do some work. So we do have some plans for that that I'll share with you guys here tonight also. So This first column is percentage pass. This column here is anybody who's got a 65 or above. It doesn't take into account anybody with special accommodations or anything like that. So 65 or above is just a straight percentage based on the first two columns in the total students. Where this comes in is eligible for credit with 55 to 64. We have certain kids that will qualify for a safety net or to get down to that 55 to 64 for credit. So when we add those in, this is the percentage receiving credit. So two different percentages. This over here, they can still graduate, so that's why we kind of do that last column for you. So percent pass, and this is percent receiving credits. As we go through, what you're gonna notice is anything in the 70s to 80% is very good. When you get up into the 90%, you're kicking butt, okay? You can see our English is very good, global is very good. US history is off the charts, very good. Algebra 2, very good. Geometry, very good. When we get down into these bottom four, this is where we've got some work to do. So the algebra regions is low. It's higher than it was last year for us. I'll share with you our plan for that in a second. And then our science across the board, we need to get up. They're low in all three. So we have a little bit of plan for that also. We have a better plan for algebra. The science is a little more tricky with the scheduling because they have labs and stuff like that. So before I give you the plan, let me take any questions from just the top chart. Go ahead, Peter. Yes.
How does this compare to last year?
That's my question.
So we're higher compared to last year, and I can break that down for you. I can tell you math is higher. I can tell you these five in here are probably pretty similar. I think US history is definitely higher. And
Those four are what everyone's concerned with.
yes, yeah,
We need to
these
see
four.
progress.
I can tell you though, even with chemistry being this low, it's higher than it was last year. Earth science is a little bit higher than it was last year
Don,
also.
how many years of math do you have to take again?
Yep, so if you, oh, actually, I got to scroll up here. So
No, things have
here's,
changed since I was in, so how many years of math do you have to take?
so here, if you look at down here, this bottom left is graduation requirements.
Yeah.
So everyone needs,
Yeah.
everyone needs the English 11 regions, so you have to have that. Everyone needs Global 10, everyone needs US history. So one English, you need two histories, you need one math test. People who are taking that math
Yeah.
test, it's algebra, though.
Yeah.
You know, what happens is algebra is that gate holder test,
Yeah.
right? So when you get by that, that's when you go into geometry, which gets more difficult. And John can tell you, it's not difficult for John, but he can tell you about it. So as you get into geometry and then algebra 2, they get more difficult. And what happens is in algebra 1, you have a little bit of a curve because it's there. The curve kind of goes away as you get into geometry.
Trig, we
Yep.
used to call it.
Yes, it used to be trig, algebra 2 and trig. So once we get through the English and the history, you need one math. Like we said, it's always algebra if students are only taking one. If they take all three, they can get an advanced
Yes.
Regents diploma. And you need one science, and that usually winds up being living environment for us.
Is that what biology was?
That was biology.
Right.
You guys don't offer physics anymore?
We don't offer physics. We've gone back and forth. We're very tight in the science department,
just
so, yeah. So what we offer as a fourth year is we offer advanced bio. It's a UAlbany course taught by Mr. Biter. So it's a nice alternative for them. We have had a couple of years in the past where we've offered physics and we've kind of gone back and forth with it, but.
I think the college credit course is a better idea.
So.
The algebra, now I lost it.
Yep.
The algebra 2, I think I know the answer to this, it's so much higher than the algebra 1.
Yes. So if you look, so in Algebra 1, we got 89
Right,
students taking
That's
it,
what I thought you were gonna say.
and by the time we hit Algebra 2,
Those
we
kids
got
are
13, so
focused,
it's,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
it's
Then you
our,
should see the calculus numbers.
Yes.
They're even lower.
yes.
How do these relate to proficiency levels of our younger grades? I know it's not the same, but they're
Wow.
proficient in their stuff.
Yeah,
Is it
so-
following the same trend of our issue subjects?
They do, so what'll happen is you'll get like some use 1 through 4, some use 1 through 5, but if you take a look at your 3 through 8 testing, you either get a 1, 2, 3, or 4, they'll label these categories, like this category is labeled a 1. This category for us is labeled a 2. If they get up into here, it's a 3, and here is a 4. So, yeah, if you see somebody's 5th grade math test and it's a 1, that's right here for us.
Do we know how that compares? Is it the same subjects that were,
So,
In the
Stacy,
younger-
can I just jump
Yeah.
in with this one?
yeah,
The only one that maps really directly as you follow out of 3 through 8 testing is Algebra 1.
okay,
So in 3 through 8 testing, it's math and ELA every
Right.
year.
Yeah,
So Algebra
no
1 is,
sciences?
no.
Okay,
no,
all right.
there is science, but it's only taken twice. It's not every year,
Okay.
right? So to compare something on a 4-year difference is a lot harder than on the 1 year in a row. So if you were to follow our math directly through, when they're done with math 8, where they're taking the 3 through 8 testing, and if they go directly to Algebra 1, that would be a direct map. The next closest map would be the English combined, but they're done in 8 and they don't take it till 11th.
So they get 3
So
years.
It's
They get
a
3
really
years of
hard
high school.
track to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
But
tie together.
that is true, we could look directly at the algebra.
Just curious if
Because
that's something
it's-
that we consistently from the beginning.
Yeah,
have.
and to be honest with you, I think the percentage is pretty close.
Interesting.
But this percentage needs to be a lot higher for us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, good, other questions before I go into a couple solutions that we had, go ahead.
Do the students take 4 years of English like we used to?
Yep, so
Okay.
take 4 years of English, they take their Regents exam in the 11th grade,
Okay.
and then 12th grade, just 12th grade English, as a senior. We also offer,
It used to be 12th grade and then was the Regents, right?
yes. So we also offer, it was U-Albany, but it's gonna be Hudson Valley next year, college English for 12th graders also.
Well, that's a great idea. That makes a lot more sense.
All right, so here's what we're noticing. So Algebra 1, the kids, when they go through Algebra 1, they may pass the course or they may not pass the course and then take the Regents exam, right? So what we've noticed is we've got a couple kids that would go through, maybe the first time through in 9th grade, they went through, they failed the course and they failed the Regents. Now in 10th grade, they got through the course, so they have course credit now, but they failed the Regents. So now we move them on to basic geometry, right? So now they're taking basic geometry, but they still need to pass the Algebra 1 Regents, right? So we're trying to figure out a way where we can work on their algebra skills because they're still not there yet. So what we've come up with, the math department and guidance department, is making a new algebra course. It'll be Algebra Explorations. This will be for students who have passed Algebra 1, but still need to take that Algebra Regents. So they'll go into Algebra Explorations, which will get them their math credit, but allows them to really focus and hone in on the algebra skills to take that test and get it passed.
We don't give
That's
one
in place of-
Is that's
We
gonna
do.
be,
We do.
that's gonna be tough.
What's that?
Because they're gonna be trying to learn geometry at the same time.
Well, we'll push geometry to the following. year.
Oh, okay. I thought they were doing both.
All right,
Yeah.
that's a better option.
So we'll push geometry out. What our path usually goes is it goes foundations, which is the beginning of algebra, then Algebra 1. Some people skip foundations and go right to Algebra 1. Then after that, if you're not going for Regents with distinction, you go to basic geometry and college prep. So with this path, they would go Algebra 1, they'd get that credit, then they would go Algebra Explorations, get the credit, and then go to have the basic geo or college prep option.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that, taking algebra and geometry.
Yeah, it's tough, it's not ideal.
That's a lot of math all the same time.
And then we can usually get them in a lab, to help them prep a little more for algebra.
That's more what happens if you fail in English or a social, because you need 4 years of it.
Yeah.
So the only way to stay on time is to double up.
Yes.
Yeah, but algebra and geometry are so different.
Very few people double up math, and those that do are good at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not me.
I never did.
So that's our thing for algebra. We think that'll help, and that'll come in when I talk about graduation rate too. The science, what we're thinking about, and we're trying to do this across all levels. We're looking to try to add in an after-school support session that will take the place of detention or maybe suspension, where we rotate through the subject areas and teachers are available after school to work with kids. And that's our plan for science right now. We do have one AIS science that kids will get into, but that's usually really focused on the living environment because that's the graduation requirement. So as I go down to graduation rate, you're gonna see that some of this bleeds over because we had a couple students that didn't graduate this year because of state tests. So if you look down here for graduation rate, if you take our total cohort of seniors this year, it was 56, okay? And we graduated 50, which puts our percentage at 89%. That's actually a very good percentage. Our percentage is going to be lower than that though, because when we get the state report after, it'll give us drops for kids that we lost earlier in the progress, right? So if somebody dropped in like 10th or 11th grade, they don't show up on our cohort list, but they come in on the graduation rate. We don't have those numbers yet. So our graduation rate is going to be lower than that. It's not gonna be that high. That would be a very good graduation rate for us. It's gonna be lower. For the 56 seniors that we had, like I said, we graduated 50. We had 4 that did not graduate due to state tests. 3 of them were in math and 1 in science. The science was kind of an outlier, and I'll explain that in a second. But the math was kids who had taken that math exam 4 or 5 times and just struggled with it. They were also kids that, as they went through, got credit for geometry eventually, and then were trying to take it with just an AIS class. And that's really why we look to put in the algebra explorations to try to catch those kids. Because they have all the other credits, they just don't have that Regents exam. So we do have those students working with us in a summer program this year, and they will take it in August. So we hope to get all 4 of them through. The science was, like I said, an abnormality. We had a student transfer in the end of their 11th grade year from out of state. They already had earth science and living environment, but obviously not the Regents exams and not the lab hours that they need to take it. They took chemistry as a senior, and they didn't pass the chemistry Regents. So it was a very difficult one. There is an exemption for that, but it's only an exemption if they transfer in their senior year. They would have got the exemption for
What a
chemistry.
kick in the job.
Yeah, so it's not that's not as normal as we usually see. But the 3 math, that's what we focused on, and we're hoping that algebra explorations helps that.
Question.
We did have 2 drops. Yes, go ahead.
In regards to the algebra, is like what you're doing with the science for the after studies, is that even available, like a tutor?
It is.
In regards to the algebra?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And get together with me and we'll get her hooked up.
Well, she's already done her algebra.
Oh, okay.
She's in geometry, she's got algebra 2 coming up, but I was just curious if the numbers are that low, if there was anything additional that may help some of the ones
There
that
is.
are struggling.
So we have a summer school, and then they have through Quest R3, they have a virtual Regents prep that we're signing kids up for also.
Okay, yeah, Brianna got her books from the library to prep
Yes.
for her region, so, okay.
And then we had 2 drops throughout the senior year. Two students drop, go that path. If you look at, if you take our 50 graduates, they're broken into these categories down here. So we had 3 enter the military this year, very proud of them. 15 going to 4-year colleges, 26 going to 2-year colleges, and then 6 going right into the workforce for employment. That, again, is a pretty good percentage. 15 and 26 give us 41 out of 50, which is 82%. 82% of our graduates going on to 2 or 4-year college.
What's the incoming class numbers?
Incoming class are a little bit bigger. I want to say it was 63, if I'm remembering right. And it seems like that's, I want to say it was 63, 67, and 67 or something. They're all in the mid to higher 60s coming up through. So this was a little bit lower. Eighth and the 9th is our biggest one, yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
Is this last picture?
No, all good.
No, you mentioned that there's a drop-off over the course of the 9th, 10th, and 11th grades.
Yes.
What kind of numbers are we talking about there?
It's tough to tell because what you get is you get certain kids that stay back because they don't get credits, and then you get kids that drop out once they reach a certain age.
Single digits?
I think it should be in single digits. Yeah. With
I'll take
COVID,
that as the answer.
with COVID, it's tougher. It's always been in single digits with us, but with COVID, we're dealing with a little bit more. So it's probably a little bit higher than it usually is.
We also find some kids as you get into high school, go to private school.
Yep.
Okay.
They're on a roll.
And that counts against us, or?
That's a transfer.
No,
That
that's
doesn't
right.
count against this, but that'll make the class sizes
So,
get
yeah,
smaller.
right. But that doesn't affect the graduation rate.
It won't affect graduation.
The dropouts do. Okay.
Correct, yeah. All right.
Questions?
Questions there?
No, Dom, I appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks you guys. All right, and then I got the fun part here.
That's right.
All right, so here's the thing. If you guys remember, we had a English 11 exam where a student got 100.
Yeah.
We did a big recognition at the board meeting, and we have 3 students that we'd like to recognize tonight. So all 3 received 100 on the Regents exam. Very tough accomplishment, very tough to do. You have to be, obviously, you have to be perfect on the exam. I was talking with our global teachers, because I'm like, we got 2 in global, and I'm like, how often is this happening? We had the current global 10 teacher and the previous one, and they couldn't remember. It was probably the global 10 teacher said, she's like, these are the first ones that I've had. And then the previous global teacher was like, I had one, but it was probably 7 or 8 years before that. So very proud of these 3. We'll announce them real quick. Elias Rosario in Algebra 1 got 100. So big round of applause. I'm going to skip down to Adrena Fisk in Global Studies, also got 100. So. And Brianna Pello, who is here with us tonight. Brianna, come on up. So, big congratulations for everyone. Yeah, come on over.
Awesome, honey. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice job.
Nice
Awesome.
job.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So, nice to end on the fun part.
Oh,
That's
that's
wonderful.
good.
We get bonus points for that?
Fabulous.
Else? No, okay.
You want to see another one? No.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Appreciate that a lot.
Definitely.
We're gonna be doing more of that. Joe?
I'd like to invite our friends from the fire department down here. So, you guys know we've been talking about this fire CTE program that we put together. I'm gonna say thanks to these guys for all the hard work they've done.
Not all at once, guys.
Not all-
Shy.
Go on.
So
They are not shy.
we are going to appoint tonight a teacher and a substitute teacher that have gone out and gotten their certification to be able to teach a CTE program as a fireman. No small task. They jump out there, went through the checklist and knocked them down. Nobody invited you down.
He's security.
But I wanna make sure you guys understand the amount of work and planning that went through from the fire department in finding our contact at State Ed, talking through what it's gonna take to do this, advocating to the city to invest in this, and making this partnership possible where our students are gonna learn real trades locally and hopefully be able to create careers for them locally and stay in the city. This is the first of its kind in the state because of the localness of it. So there are fire CTE programs for BOCES that are all regional, but you're not in your own city's fire department or your own local fire department. This is what this is gonna be. It's a great partnership and they've been awesome to work with, and I just wanted to give them a little credit and make sure that maybe we get a picture with you guys and them in our partnership. Tonight we have the appointments and the MOA agreement with them, and I believe the city's doing that tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow night. So that'll make it all official as we're moving forward. And this is a super exciting feather in the cap program going on, and it's really thanks to these guys. You guys want to say anything? We'll grab them.
No, I just, in seeing Coach Pitt talk about the employment aspect of it, I mean, ultimately, the CTE part of it is we're trying to get some volunteers from within our community, but ultimately give them a career path.
Yeah.
As, you know, Rensselaer High graduate, Rensselaer High graduate, Rensselaer High graduate. Obviously, I took the volunteer side, and I'm where I am now, but that career path, people can learn what it is in the fire service, and ultimately give back to their community.
I want to share just an observation, and please don't anybody take this as political. I accompanied Joe to the meeting when the city council and the mayor talked about, wasn't a council meeting. It was
Board vote safety meeting.
Thank you. And we all know Rensselaer politics could get rough. It was amazing to watch the mayor, the council members, everybody who was involved in that meeting just line up behind this. Everybody's unanimous, everybody's kissing and hugging. It's a credit to you guys, so thank you for the partnership.
Thank you.
On behalf of all of us.
Absolutely.
Can we do
Yep.
a little picture with the board and maybe the firemen?
Sure.
Is that something we can do really quickly before we move on?
I'd be happy to.
We're gonna put Mooney in the front, though, he's the teacher.
I never get
Stay right
Yeah.
Jimmy, you're in the back.
You wanna come in?
Actually,
Jump in there.
You wanna get
I'm trying to get out of here. Come on.
Oh, we're looking over here now.
Any chance of shutting the thing down for a second, the projector?
No, I just shine.
Can you hold it?
It'd be faster,
in front of
trust me.
it?
We'll all shift this way, get them out of the projector.
It does make Jimmy's face a little better, don't it?
Shift, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Get Jim out of the projector.
Flag.
All right.
John, is your first official picture.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Thank you, sir. Gents, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. That was really all I had.
Oh. That was quick.
Plenty of other stuff on this agenda.
Yeah, there is. Okay. Anybody, invitation of visitors to address the board? You have something to say, offer? We'll take compliments. Thank you. Any old business for the board to bring up? New business, we have a series of items that we will take a motion to, this is our new business and superintendent's recommendations. And I would take a motion to adopt the new business and the recommendations in one motion.
I'll motion.
Jim Preston and Stacy. That's so efficient. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. And thank you. Joe, any announcements? I don't have any.
None. Motion to adjourn is our next.
Motion to adjourn. Do we need an executive session? Motion to adjourn. Stacy, Jim, all in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you all.
That was a pretty
Ms. Prince, did you have a discussion, any discussion, Madam Chairman?
Yeah.
If anyone's available, we have a
The end of the
reverse
year.
mentoring program
Victory lap, everybody ready for
presentation
the
in the
summer.
auditorium. If anyone wants to stop by.
It wasn't gonna last a little while, that was pretty quick. You'll be fine though.
So,
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you to